Martha's dream was ridiculous. Ravens in feather boas tap dancing on melting ice, but waking left her pulse racing. 58 years old, and her subconscious served up climate panic as vaudeville. Seattle's gray dawn seeped through blinds as she gripped her grandmother's field notebook, spine cracked like parched earth haunting newsfeeds. Outside, a crow cackled. That did it. She laced sneakers over wool socks, priorities, marched past Pike Place's fish-tossing spectacle, and slapped notebook onto a picnic table where Martha woke to rain tapping Morse code against her window, 3 short, 2 long, like that summer storm decades ago when she'd pressed her mother's field notebook under a sweater to keep ink from bleeding. Now, 58, she carried its cracked leather spine everywhere, though half its pages sat empty. Climate headlines made her hands shake too hard to write. What was point of scribbling down chickadees when glaciers groaned like old house beams? But Pike Place Market's urban birdwatching fam didn't care about her trembling cursive. They met by gum wall, binoculars dangling like misplaced jewelry, swapping stories of bald eagles nesting in parking garages. Martha's first attempt was clumsy. She mistook a crow's shadow for a Cooper's hawk, but no one laughed. Instead, a woman with neon green sneakers showed her how to track peregrine falcons by their dive-bomb shrieks, a sound that sliced through city noise like scissors through gift wrap. Slowly, notebook filled. Not with doom scroll data, but with messy sketches of starlings mobbing a falcon, dates when cherry blossoms drew first rufous hummingbirds. Her deepest fear, that she'd become a ghost in her own life, watching world unravel through a screen, lifted like fog burning off Lake Washington. Turns out, purpose wasn't some grand rescue mission. It was showing up, rain or shine, to count sparrows with strangers who'd begun leaving granola bars in her tote bag when her arthritis flared. One Tuesday, Martha spotted a raven perched on a Starbucks sign, its beak glossy as a patent leather shoe. No feather boa, no tap shoes. Just a bird being brilliantly, stubbornly alive. She laughed so hard her ribs ached, and for once, sound didn't get lost in traffic. Creator woke with a start, her dream dissolving like mist over Puget Sound. Feather boas? Tap dancing ravens? 58, she blamed menopause or maybe last night's decough, though her subconscious clearly had opinions about climate dread. Outside her window, a crow pecked a discarded bagel, its beady eyes mocking her inertia. Pike Place Market buzzed below, where tourists gawked flying fish while locals dodged puddles. Creator clutched her grandmother's field notebook, its leather cover cracked like drought-parched soil. She'd meant to journal about grief, shrinking glaciers, her son's cross-country move, but blank pages yawned back. Then a flash of movement, a woman in a neon vest waved binoculars like a conductor's baton, herding a gaggle of silver-haired birders toward a rusted fire escape. Urban Bird Collective, fam. Beginners get extra cookies. Creator hesitated. Binoculars made her feel like a spy in a bad thriller, and her last hike involved mall escalators. But notebook trembled in her grip, not from fear, but possibility. She elbowed into group, promptly tripping over a rogue cobblestone. Vest wearer, Luz, as her name tag declared, caught her elbow with a grin. Nice save, rookie. Crows dig drama. Luz's crew wasn't khaki and silence brigade woman expected. They traded sass over sparrows, debated gull personalities, that one's definitely a Karen, and celebrated every sighting like a lottery win. By week's end, Martha's notebook brimmed with messy sketches, a Junko's ink blot markings, precise angle a heron folded its neck. She learned to ID birds by their gossip, robins' alarm calls, starlings' liquid chatter. Each entry felt like stitching a frayed world back together, one observation at a time. One drizzly dawn, creator spotted a fledgling crow struggling in a puddle. Luz nudged her. "Watch." As if on cue, two adult crows hauled Soggy Kid upright with their beaks. Martha's pen hovered, ink bleeding into paper. Notebook wasn't just recording life, it was proof of it, stubborn and thriving. Next meetup, Luz tossed her a vest. Promoted from rookie. Martha fumbled catch, sending cookies flying. Crows swooped in, triumphant. Somewhere, she swore, a raven chuckled. Martha's dream was ridiculous, ravens in feather boas tap dancing, but waking up to gray skies and headlines screaming extinction made fantasy preferable. 58, she'd stopped trusting her own usefulness. Climate grief had settled into her joints like winter damp, convincing her efforts were as pointless as rearranging deck chairs on Titanic. Then she stumbled upon Urban Wings, a ragtag collective tracking city birds near Pike Place Market. Their motto? Data is hope with numbers. Her first attempt was comical. Binoculars tangled in scarf fringe, notebook smudged with rain and indecision. Was that a crow or a raven? Did it matter? But Group's founder, a retired marine biologist with a penchant for neon sneakers, handed her a field guide sticky with coffee rings. "Just watch," she'd said. Noticing is step one, she noticed. Sparrows bickering over muffin crumbs. A peregrine falcon perched on a skyscraper like it owned place. Weeks in, she spotted a barred owl in her own backyard, rare for Seattle, and documented its haunting call. That notebook became her anchor, pages filling with scribbles and stubborn pushback against despair. Doubt still crept in. Some mornings, she'd eye news and think, what's point? But then she'd remember owl, way its wings cut through smoggy air like a middle finger to futility. Urban Wings meetups became her lifeline, fans swapping stories over steaming cups, their laughter louder than cynicism. Creator wasn't saving world. But she was saving herself, one scribbled observation at a time. By spring, her notes helped confirm a spike in hummingbird migrations. Tiny victories, sure. But as she stood under cherry blossoms, listening to birds she now knew by name, Martha realized purpose wasn't some grand finale. It was showing up, stubborn as a weed in concrete, and bearing witness. Martha's hands shook as she flipped open her field notebook, its pages crammed with ink-smudged sketches of crows perched on power lines. Pike Place Market bustled behind her, but her focus stayed locked on a single raven pecking discarded pastry crumbs. No feather boas, no tap shoes, just urban birds surviving, same as her. 6 months ago, eco-grief had hollowed her out. Headlines screamed extinction, her grandkids' futures felt like a cliff edge. Then she'd stumbled into Seattle's Bird Brigade, a ragtag fam of retirees and baristas who tracked avian shifts as climate indicators. Skeptics scoffed, what's counting pigeons gonna fix? But Martha clung to it like a life raft. Today, though, she'd ditched her usual cautious tally. With a deep breath, she aimed her thrift store binoculars a rusted fire escape. A fledgling crow, wings still clumsy, hopped between railings. Her pencil flew across page, capturing not just stats but personality, bird's cocked head, its Hitchcockian swagger. A chuckle escaped her. Who knew I'd go from spreadsheets to sketching bird sass 58? Then, movement. A flash of iridescent black. Martha's pulse spiked. That wasn't just any crow. Adjusting her stance, ignoring her knee's indignant creak, she snapped a photo with her ancient phone. Grainy, Yes, but unmistakable. Raven clutched a neon twist tie in its beak, weaving it into a nest like some punk rock architect. She uploaded it to Brigade's forum with a caption, "Recycling crews got nothing on this guy," and shoved phone back in her pocket. No big deal. Except by sundown, her post had exploded. National Audubon Society reposted it. A wildlife doc filmmaker slid into her DMs, next week's meetup, even Brenda from Bakery, who'd once rolled her eyes "those bird nerds," gawked Martha's sudden fame. "Damn, girl. You made trash chic." Laughter rippled through group. Martha clutched her notebook, its edges frayed from months of faithful service. For first time in years, weight in her chest felt lighter than feathers. "I found my voice," she realized, "and it chirps." Turns out, saving worlds started with paying attention, one sassy raven at a time. Martha's notebook filled faster than she expected, not with dreams of tap-dancing ravens, but scribbled observations of crows stealing fries near Pike Place Market. That odd habit of muttering to sparrows? Turned out half her urban birdwatching fam did same. Week by week, her grief over melting glaciers softened under weight of small wonders, a flicker nesting in a parking garage, juncos adapting their songs to traffic noise. She never planned to lead Seattle's quirkiest silver-haired collective, but here she was, guiding newbies to spot Cooper's hawks between skyscrapers. Their meetups became therapy with binoculars, laughter over misidentified pigeons, shared thermoses as they logged data for climate researchers. That battered field notebook, once just for doodles, now held migration patterns cited in 3 local studies. Turns out purpose wasn't some grand fix. It lived in showing a 9-year-old her first hummingbird nest, in scribbling "Peregrine on fire escape, 3:15 p.m. while waiting for bus." Martha's knees creaked, but her curiosity didn't. Every tally mark proved world still held fierce, feathery resilience, and so did she. Spot something wild? Log it. Your city's counting on you.